And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. We've got a massive CME, one of the most massive of the entire solar cycle. Probably the most massive coronal mass ejection of solar cycle 25. A great view here in composite, looking at the 304 angstroms from the SDO, the LASCO C2, which is this red band, and then the LASCO C3, the zoomed out blue band. Also, we've got a pair of sun-diving comets down here in the lower left. Talk about some spectacular imagery. Now you see these very dense portions of ejecta right around here. Those very dense portions of ejecta are the kind that cause massive solar storms on Earth. This is not directed toward Earth, it's on the opposite side of the sun. But yeah, pretty spectacular imagery indeed. Next, we're going to show the colorized magnetogram. We've got a bunch of sunspots. The Wolf number is at 84 last I looked. I'm not going to try to guess how many numbered sunspot groups we have, but it's a lot. We've got a setting sunspot 2941, which is one of the largest sunspots of the cycle as well. There was an M-class flare since yesterday, so lots of stuff to cover. Let's blast through some more. We've got the southern hemisphere in 171 angstroms. We've got the northern hemisphere in 171 angstroms. And we've even got an extreme close-up of sunspot 2941 as it sets. There was actually an M-class flare in there somewhere. The radio flux has, I believe, reached its minimum for this latest little peak. The 10.7 centimeter radio flux. There is the 1-year graph of that to put it in context. I think we're at 118 solar flux units. A solar flux unit is equivalent to 10,000 joules. That's radio flux density. And it's the most proportional data set we have to sunspot number. I'm being told 114, so it's actually dipped a little bit here. But we've got a ton of sunspots. We're going to cover that a little more in depth in our next video about space weather, our solar fields and features. We also cover earthly fields in that. Anyway, the Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard not showing any expected solar storms. We did see a minor proton event. We'll get to that in our fields and features segment also. Now let's look at global seismicity. Largest quake of the past 24 was a 6.2 at Guatemala. Looks like it was in a populated area. Can expect to see some reports on perhaps some damage at Nueva Concepcion. Anyway, that's the location of that 6.2 magnitude quake. And leave us a comment if you felt that earthquake. Let's go up the list here. Also a little swarm here around California in the past 24. I'm just going to scroll up the list here. And if we fail to talk about anything, please leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking is going on. Just a quick reminder that we are seeing an earthquake drought. So you see these red bars, those are the 7 magnitude earthquakes. And this area I've noted, that is an earthquake drought. So if you're in an earthquake-prone zone, please have an earthquake plan. Plan to be an asset, not a liability, in the event of a disaster. Know which building facades may collapse if you don't have a bug-out bag. Stuff like that. So some shaking going on in the South Sandwich Islands region there, around the tri-plate boundary of the Antarctic and South Pacific and South Atlantic plates. As the 7 magnitude earthquake drought continues. Next, since it's related to geophysics, let's look at volcanoes. Here's Mount Ibu, having erupted just this morning, today on 2/16, February 16th. So let's see what else is going on. White Island showing up as well, the volcano north of New Zealand. We'll get to it in a moment. First, Subanose Jima, producing a flight level 070 as it erupts and produces a 7,000-foot plume of volcanic ash. Ibu, similarly sized ash plume from Mount Ibu on the Isle of Halmahera, Indonesia, as it explodes. 7,000-foot plume of volcanic ash. White Island, we're seeing some mud geysers from White Island. So this is a common thing when the lake level is high, as water floods gas vents. Also a minor increase of volcanic carbon dioxide, while the sulfur dioxide remained level. So probably just from water coming in, folks. Anyway, let's continue on here. Fuego exploding. 14,000-foot volcanic ash plume coming from Fuego in Guatemala. Nevado del Ruiz, 21,000-foot ash plume over Colombia as Nevado del Ruiz explodes. Ecuador's got 2 active volcanoes. Not sure if Sangay is erupting, but Revenador is. It's producing a flight level 140. In an explosive fashion, it's sending a 14,000-foot plume of volcanic ash skyward. Saab and Kaya were unable to detect whether or not it's erupting. Please assume it is if you're in the area. Don't pole vault the caldera. It could be unhealthful. And last but not least, Nevados de Chilean. Near frequent explosions with ash plumes estimated to be 4 to 4.3 kilometers. A great reminder to not pole vault the caldera. Do visit our links. We've got a link below the video to smashamash.com. Did you know we're writing a paper on the solar cycles? Yeah. I believe I've plausibly explained the mechanism underlying the solar cycles and the solar polar field reversals. And if you'd like to help us out with that, maybe pick up some merch. We've placed the merch in order of best selling. So these are the worst selling items. We've opened up all of them. That's why those items at the bottom are the worst selling, because those are promotional items that we use for ourselves. Thanks to everybody who's picked up merch. We want something tangible as we do our best to make Earth not suck again. Providing the best imagery of the sun on the internet. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. If you enjoy the content and prefer to see it continue to be publicly visible, consider becoming a member of the Smash Team, as we're paid just this side of nothing to put the videos on YouTube. Thanks to our YouTube subscribers regardless. Thanks to the Smash Team the most. We've put up 2 posts here for the Gold members. Gold Smash Team members receive information nobody else gets to see, as well as Silver Smash Team members. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in, folks, and may that solar wind be at your back.